Hello, Killy EP here, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing What If Deku Was Abandoned and in the Military Part 8. First off, I would like to thank the comment section down in my Part 7, and I will be changing from the Ida character from Kirishima to Denki. I can't say his first name, I just can't say the first name, I'm sorry, you guys can comment it down below, I just can't say it properly, sorry. So yeah, that's going to be the minor change that I'll be making, so just all the times in the other videos when I said Kirishima just meant Denki instead now, I'll be just referencing Denki instead. So now it will be the next day and we'll be doing the USJ attack. So they're on the bus, they're all talking about what quirks they have and all that stuff, and eventually they get to asking around Deku what his quirk is. Deku looks up and looks them dead in the eye and says, "You don't need to know," and continues reading about all his notes about the kids and ways to improve them, because he is trying to make better heroes morally and stronger heroes to deal with villains, obviously. Of course they'll be dealing with all villains. So now that they're at the USJ and pretty much the hero 13 there, Ochaku goes over her whole fangirl about her, and pretty much they have the whole conversation, and then Deku realizes something weird happened, because he has like the seventh sense. He realized that something weird happened, and he looks down and sees a bunch of villains going through and teleporting in to the USJ, and he tells Eraserhead, pretty much says, "I'm pretty sure we have company," and they both look down and see pretty much a guy with a hand on his face and a massive, like, it's gonna be a stronger Nomu than before, like a lot stronger. And after Izuku seeing the Nomu, he instantly goes, "Okay, this is the League of Villains," but this is only in his head. He still hasn't told anyone about him. So at this point, they're starting to do their fight, and pretty much, oh no, I forgot his name again. Oh no. The teleport person, you guys are gonna flame me in the comment section right now. I'm so sorry. The teleport person on the League of Villains side pretty much teleports and tries to teleport all the kids to the different areas, and he was able to succeed in that, and all that stuff happens like normal. But now, instead of just Aizawa dealing with the villains down there, it's also Deku. But this time, Deku is prepared for the teleport person, and they do not recognize him. The teleport guy does not recognize him. No one really knows that Izuku is, except Aizawa, because he actually had a conversation with Izuku. No one really knows that it was Deku that was actually there that helped them. All that they know is he can summon weapons, and that do not fight him because he will win. And pretty much Izuku pretty much sees that, and he decides to not summon his weapons and just use his fighting strength. And yeah, so they cut to Penny's side. She pretty much lifts herself, Mineta, and Asuyu, yes, out of the water and onto the ship with her telekinesis, and they devise a plan using all their powers and pretty much easily make it over across without any hitches at all. All the other sides finish it. Bakugo's, because he's a lot stronger and smarter now, he's able to deal with the teleport person. I'll search it up after this video. The teleport person off the teleport guy a lot faster, so pretty much they're watching Izuku and Eraserhead fighting all the villains in the middle of the area. And pretty much at this point, they see how bloody strong Deku is, even though he's not using his quirk. He's quite literally beating every single villain that's coming his way with one punch easily. Like, villain with a strength quirk. He beats it using complete martial arts and outwitting and outspeeding them. People with weird quirks, he just gets up close, punches them in the face, knocks them out once, maybe chokes a couple of them, and he does this 2 times faster than Eraserhead. Eraserhead was pretty bloody fast when dealing with the the villains, I mean. Dealing with the villains, like, reasonably fast, but he lost a lot of stamina doing that. With Izuku there, Aizawa does not need to use his ability as much, and he's able to save it a lot easier and not have as much strain on his eyes anymore. So without as much strain on his eyes, and Izuku pretty much cleaning up, he's dealt with half, while Aizawa's dealt with like 10. And pretty much they're just cleaning up. Shigaraki sends the Nomu into Izuku, and Shigaraki pretty much says, "Hey, what is that kid meant to... This isn't part of the plan. Who's he?" Like, because this hasn't gone... Of course, they're meant to get All Might there, but the plan was to just kill All Might with the Nomu, obviously. And with, yes, so the Nomu's going to be charging at Izuku, and pretty much Izuku is going to put his hand behind his back, summon a cutlass, and just pull out a cutlass, and they're just very confused by this, but they probably think it's his ability to summon weapons from his body or something, like Momo's. So pretty much he summons one of his weapons from behind his back, obviously from midair, not from his back, like Momo. So he summons his cutlass, and pretty much the Nomu comes flying at him with a massive fist. Izuku easily dodges, and pretty much goes for the brain, sing straight down the middle, clean slice like he did before. And after seeing this, and Teleport Guy is still pinned down at this point, and he's trying to escape. And I'm pretty sure he escapes at this point, and he goes to Shigaraki and says, "Boss, we need to leave now." And pretty much Shigaraki says, "I agree." And they teleport out as soon as the teleport person finishes all of his teleporting, obviously. As soon as he gets... Not teleporting, that was stupid. As soon as he escapes, he pretty much says that and just gets the hell out of there because he doesn't want to deal with that guy. Pretty much, they go back and tell One For All about this kid that's able to... Well, not kid. Tells him about this teacher that was able to kill the Nomu easily without any remorse. Because Izuku was... Because he's enrolled in UA as a teacher, he wasn't allowed to kill any of the teachers. Not the teachers, any of the villains, because they're meant to be heroes and role models. So he wasn't allowed to kill them, even though he would have done it in a heartbeat. So he chose not to because he wanted to respect the school morals and all that stuff. So he's being a good teacher for once. Not for once, he's being a good teacher to UA standards about not killing. So now that pretty much he clean sweeps, knocks all of the villains out and easily gets rid of them, and then all the other heroes arrive, sees all the villains knocked down, and just sees Izuku and Aizawa standing in the middle. Aizawa's panting a lot, sitting down, his eyes are bloodshot, while Izuku's there with a single sweat dripping down his face, and that is all. Just one drop of sweat down his face. And after seeing this, everyone's in shock at what just happened and all that stuff. And now they're gonna go back to school and say, because of the attack, you get the 2 weeks off and all that stuff. And yeah, so they get the 2 weeks off, and pretty much what happens is they get the call in about the... Oh, I still haven't decided One For All next generation, have I? I might actually think about... I might give it to someone or might not. It might just be Muriel. Who knows? I'll think about that later. So pretty much what happens is they get the 2 weeks off, and then they come back hearing that the sports festival is happening at the end of this week. I'm gonna say it's at the end of this week. I don't remember exactly when it is, So I'm gonna say it happens at the end of this week. So now they're all frantically training, practicing for the sports festival. And yeah, pretty much Izuku tries to help them. And pretty much this is what Izuku says. If you want to get stronger, come to me if you want help. And guess what? The only people that come to Izuku for help is Penny, Bakugo, and Todoroki. Those are the only three people that ever came to Izuku for help. The other three are just, the rest of the class are just like acting like Izuku. Well, they're not acting like Izuku's nothing because they've seen him stronger than him. They've fought him. He's obviously stronger than them, no matter how much they might try to say that he's morally and weaker, but he's not. So, at this point, they just have a grudge against Izuku. Well, they called Ten Tetsuo. They have a grudge against Ten. So they have a grudge against him, so they decide not to go for him just for this week. That will change later on. Probably after the sports festival. So now pretty much what happens is the sports festival starts, Endeavor's there, All Might's there. Aizawa is commentating with President Mike, but with no injuries. Maybe like his eyes would look a little bit more red, a little bit less red. His whole body will be completely fine. He'll just be doing regular commentary with President Mike. And now the sport festival has officially began. Everyone runs out the gates. Same thing happens. Todoroki freezes the floor a lot stronger now and a lot further out. And because he's a lot more physically trained, and it just bursts out with a sudden eruption of strength, and he pretty much goes really far ahead. And now he's at the robots already. So now Bakugo, seeing his feet stuck, pretty much says explosions at his feet and sends them flying all the way through. And pretty much at this point, he's neck and neck with Todoroki. Penny at the same time, seeing this, starts using her levitation ability, telekinesis, to float herself away and not as fast, so she's coming in third right now. And everyone else is the same as the anime, pretty much coming in all the other directions for the anime. So now it's between Todoroki, Bakugo, and Penny. These are the three that come in fighting for first, second, and third. Todoroki and Bakugo are like full on, not like fist fighting, but like sending their quirks at each other to try to slow the other person down, because there isn't any rules about using your quirk against other kids as long as it obviously doesn't hurt them. So pretty much they get past the robots fairly easily because, like they did in the entrance exam, they easily blast them away if any of them came close to them. 0 pointers are pretty much nothing to them. So at this point, because they also went for Izuku for some help, so they're a little bit stronger. Just because they've had a little bit of a understanding of their abilities, a little bit more, not too much. So now they're at the rope section. Bakugo starts flying over with his explosions. Todoroki freezes the rope and uses balance and just glides across it. But this is where Penny takes first place, because she's faster than Bakugo in the air, obviously, because she floats, and because she's picking up more and more momentum, faster than Bakugo at this point, because I'm just going to say she is. So now she's in first place, hovering over, and now they're at the mines. And they start, Penny just continues flying over the mines, easily. And everyone's in the crowd is just shocked as President Mike says, "This girl is just flying over the mines. All of our traps except one was completely useless against her. We probably should have thought of that. We probably should have thought through that a lot more." Oh yeah, I forgot to do the whole entrance thing. So yeah, 1B is sorry about this. I'm gonna cut back a little bit and come back to this. I just really wanted to get to that for some reason. So 1B is still talking trash about 1A, and Monoma is still going, "How you guys suck? How dare you? I'm the best." He gets pulled back, and Bakugo is... Did I say Bakugo? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bakugo... Wait, was it Bakugo that was the lead in the... Yes, I'm gonna say it was Bakugo. I believe so. Bakugo did the speech, but he did it a lot tamer. Not as bad, but he still pretty much said similar things, but not to that level of extent. He pretty much said, I wish you all the best of luck, but I'm still gonna win. Pretty much like that, and just he didn't drop the mic, he gave it back to the hero and just left off the stage. So I'm gonna cut back to Penny flying over the mines. So Penny is starting to fly over the mines, and seeing this, Bakugo got really pissed. So pretty much he's just using his explosions to try to explode the other mines, to explode up on her, to make smoke harder for her to fly. And it doesn't really work, so now Bakugo just gives up and just starts running through the mines. He's using his explosions on his feet, and he's officially faster because these mines are on a very, very big delay, as you can see in the anime. The delay is ridiculous. So now he's officially running faster than the delay that can catch him. So now, at the same time Todoroki seeing this, he pretty much uses his ice, freezes all the mines, and just glides over and picks up a lot of speed, because ice picks up a lot of bloody speed. At the same time, he uses his fire. Yes, Todoroki's not afraid to use his... By the way, I'm sorry about this cut. My recording software just decided to completely screw me and just turn off by itself. So let's get back into it. Yes, Todoroki is not afraid to use his fire in front of his father, because he just accepts that as his quirk now and all that jazz. So he uses his fire to give him even more propulsion. So now it's pretty much these three, neck and neck, all the way to the end. Penny starts to lag behind, so she's in third at this point. So now it's Bakugo with his really, really fast running and his explosion feat, and it's Todoroki utilizing both of his quirks at the same time to gain momentum and speed. And guess what? It's going to be close, but Todoroki's going to win by like 4 meters. Todoroki is 4 meters in front of Bakugo, so it wasn't neck and neck at the end, because Todoroki just picked up way too much speed on his ice and using his fire to direct him. He picked up way too much speed, so Bakugo couldn't even catch him, even though he was faster than the delay. He wasn't faster than Todoroki. So now Todoroki has the 100 million points, then it will go Bakugo, then it will go Penny, and all the rest will go all the way down. So pretty much the next part is going to be the cavalry battle. This is going to be the interesting one. Pretty much it's going to go sort of like canon, you can say. So on Todoroki's team, he will have... I'm going to say he's going to have Denki. Yes, the eater person. He's going to have Denki, Momo, and Mina. I'm going to say he has these three on his team with Todoroki on top. So pretty much it's going to be him running around the stadium, freezing anyone that gets close to him, and pretty much has a wall of fire around his head. He's going to have like a crown of fire that isn't burning the headband, but he doesn't really flip over. But what he does do, he just slides around, because he knows he can guarantee first place with all of the stuff, and with all of his abilities and all that stuff. He can guarantee first place if he keeps his headband. So pretty much he does that. No one really fights for it, because besides Bakugo and Penny, obviously they're going to try to get it. So pretty much those two are going to be fighting... Todoroki 100 million headband. They both get very close to grabbing it, but at the end, it was no dice. They couldn't get it, so Todoroki's team comes in first. Then it would go Bakugo's team in second, and Penny's team in third. And then all the other teams after them. So now it's going to be the fighting stage. All the fights are going to go the exact same. All the fights are pretty much going to be the exact same, but with different people, but with the same outcome. I'm not going to change any of the outcomes, except the fights where, obviously, Penny, Todoroki, and Bakugo are in. Bakugo just easily takes care of Ochaku because there's no real contest. Todoroki beats Sero. Not as much, not as overkill as before. He just does a simple freeze, but it has pretty much the exact same effect. He does the same freeze, but he doesn't do the whole ice pillars behind him. He just freezes his body and just makes him so he can't move. Because he never had the conversation with his dad and all that stuff. So now it's going to be going on to Penny versus Todoroki. So this is going to be Penny versus Todoroki at this last fight. And not last fight, semifinals. So now that Todoroki is fighting Penny, they start throwing abilities at each other. The one issue with this battlefield for Penny, she doesn't really have too much to grab. So she starts throwing grains. She starts picking up speed and throwing grains of the dust. She starts throwing dust at him, which, if you've ever been on a beach while it's really, really windy, can hurt like absolute hell. So it doesn't do any visible pain, but is very, very painful when that happens. So now that he's pretty much getting pain all over his body, what he does is he freezes the whole ground so there's no dust. And at this point, he easily just starts cornering her with his fire and goes out of the arena. Because Penny doesn't really have too much physical abilities. She relies a lot on her on her quirk, her telekinesis quirk. Because, like I said, if she was in the building, she would beat Todoroki because he couldn't really defeat her in the building. Because even if it is frozen, she can still lift it up and use it because it's within her telekinesis powers. She can still use her ability, just obviously not as strong as she would be able to do it without frozen. So at this point, Todoroki easily corners her and beats her. And after saying that, after the fight, Endeavor says, "Well done, Todoroki," and pretty much walks off. Todoroki ignores his father, not really caring. But All Might is going to go over to Penny and says, "Hello." This is going to be like in the waiting area. So she's going to be like crying. She's not going to be crying, but she's going to be like have a tear down her eye, rubbing her face a little bit. And All Might's going to be there and says, "Oh, hello, young one. Did I come at a bad time?" And she says, No, it's fine. Because obviously Penny's very not self-righteous. She's very self-confident, and when she loses a lot of her confidence, and obviously she's a lot like Bakugo, in other words. So now that All Might says, he does his whole talk that he does with Izuku and Kanon, saying, "I can grant you my power, this wound, it's not that as bad, but it's still pretty bloody bad." So now that his wound is still really bad, and he pretty much says, "Do you want my quirk?" She agrees, so I'm going to give Penny one for all. Wait, no, one for all. Yes, one for all. So I give Penny one for all, and yes, So now it's going to go on to the final fight. Bakugo versus Todoroki. It's going to be just like canon. So not the end. It might or might not be. Who knows? So at this point, they both pretty much. Midnight says 3, 2, 1, begin, and they both throw out their strongest abilities straight off the bat. Todoroki does a combination of his ice and fire. Bakugo does a howitzer impact, but 3 times stronger. Cementos already has his 3 blocks ready, but the one issue is at the end of this first clash of these 2 abilities, neither, because they both have physical training that Izuku has put them through, neither of them fall off the stage by accident or go unconscious. So neither of them do that. So pretty much it's just going to be for 10 minutes. It's going to be a back and forth of them sending their strongest abilities after and after each other. But eventually, after this 10 minutes, they both get really, because this has just been eating into their stamina really fast. So after these 10 minutes, they're pretty much doing the smallest explosions, smallest fireballs, and they're both like panting on their knees. And pretty much their quirks are pretty much, well, they're not gone, but because how low stamina they have, they can't use their quirks. So now it's just down to a good old fist fight. And then it comes at it, Bakugo swinging really far at Todoroki dodges, swings back. It's going to be a back and forth for like another 3 minutes. Very intense. Sort of like at the end of Naruto, not the end of Naruto, maybe? No, it's when Naruto and Sasuke fight, and at the end they both get beaten half to death, and they're pretty much still fighting and just punching each other really, really weakly. That's pretty much what this fight has degraded to at this point. Just punching each other really, really weakly, and just going like, And eventually, because Bakugo has been through obviously more physical fights than Todoroki, it's self-explanatory. Bakugo's childhood is just like, obviously Bakugo has been through more physical training. Well, he's been through more fights, so he knows how to throw a punch, to say. So after throwing all the punches, and Bakugo finally lands a finishing punch right to the noggin, and Todoroki goes flat on the floor and he's knocked out. Bakugo has claimed the winner. Bakugo does not need to be tied down in a trench coat, not accepting his victory. He does not need to do that. He accepts it with pride and with a massive smile. And he stands up straight. Todoroki does the exact same thing after getting recovered by Recovery Girl. No, not Recovery Girl. Not Recovery Girl. By Ashley, that's there instead of Recovery Girl. Ashley is there because Recovery Girl says, "Is it okay if I have something else on today? Is it okay if you take control?" And she says, "Fine." And Ashley instantly recovers Todoroki just like that. Well, Todoroki and Bakugo's stamina, everything back up to full, like the fight absolutely never happened. So after recovering them, they go over to the stadium, they accept their rewards, both of them have a massive smile, and Todoroki, when they're walking over to the stadium, says to Bakugo, "Next time, I'll get ya. Next time, I'll win." And Bakugo says, You wish, fire hot, cold hot, whatever his nickname is for Todoroki. And because Bakugo loves to nickname everyone. So now, pretty much, they all line up. Penny's going to be in third, because in the fight between Tokoyami and Penny, Penny just pretty much does the dust stuff and pretty much just does a wave of dust and just easily pushes Tokoyami out of the arena, and she becomes third. So it's going to be Bakugo first, Todoroki second, and Penny third. So, what should I go now? So this is after the whole. This is after the. Words are leaving my head. This is after the whole sports festival. They all see, or the whole class sees, how strong these three are, and they all ask, how the hell did you guys get so strong? Because they were no match for them. And all of them say in unison, it was 10 Tetsu, it was 10. And they all go, what? And pretty much they tell them the whole story of how Ten Tetsuo became the principal and taught them how to become strong. And they, after hearing this, they all go straight to Deku and ask how do they become stronger. And pretty much this is going to be the training, a little bit of training after the sports festival. I forgot how much. I'm going to say it's going to be a month. In that month, they're going to be getting stronger, obviously, everyone in the class. I'm going to say Penny, even before, as soon as she got all for one for all, she can instantly use, I'm going to say, 7% of the power because of the physical exercise she's gone through with Deku, and her quirk has been upped to 250 meters and I'm going to say 300 kilograms. So now her kilograms are outweighing her distance. So her quirk has been boosted a lot because of One For All. I'm not going to give her any of the latent abilities, any other quirks that like Black Whip or any of that other stuff. Spoiler warning, if you didn't know that, sorry. Yes, One For All has other quirks inside of it. Yeah. So now that that happens, the 1 month of training goes by, and now they're choosing their apprenticeships? Apprenticeships? So all of them get lists and lists and lists. Well, pretty much just Todoroki, Bakugo, and Penny get everything possible. And I'm going to say they all go to the same agencies. Todoroki goes with his father just to train his quirk a little bit more, even though, yeah. I don't remember which one Bakugo picks, and Penny picks Gran Torino like Deku did, because all Might just says pick Gran Torino, he'll help you with your movement and all that jazz, because Gran Torino is really bloody good with his randomness, random movement. All the stuff happens. Penny starts picking up some random movements from Gran Torino. She picks it up really, really, really fast. So as soon as Gran Torino starts doing that, this is something Deku has taught all of them, how to analyze their opponents. So pretty much it's called the art of mimicry. So she's mimicking all of the movements that he makes, and she asks him, what are you thinking when you make these movements? And Gran Torino says, nothing. I'm moving wherever I want to be to get to the destination that I need to be. And after hearing that, she starts moving around. Not as good as Gran Torino, but she's starting to get it a lot easier. And she gets it a lot faster than Izuku by tenfold. And they do their whole progress thing and all that jazz. So now we're gonna get to the city fight with all that stuff, and I'll get into that next video. Sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger. We'll get into all that stuff and what happens and how the hero killer stain, all that stuff. I'll get into that stuff next video. I'd like to thank all the people that's been commenting on my videos. Very positive. I'm very thankful for all your support. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to continue getting all this content. Thank you very much, and I wish you the best of days.